ISL bribery kickbacks. International Sport and Leisure was FIFA's main marketing partner, starting in the 1980s. Their job was to sell television and sponsorship rights for the World Cup. To secure these lucrative contracts, ISL secretly funneled around $100 million in bribes to top FIFA executives, including former President João Havelange. When ISL went bankrupt in 2001, Swiss court investigations cracked open their financial books. The result was a massive, highly visible paper trail of secret offshore payments. This scandal matters today because it shows exactly how early corruption was baked into modern soccer. Qatar World Cup bidding. This is how a small desert nation won soccer's biggest tournament. In 2010, FIFA shocked everyone by picking Qatar for 2022. Almost immediately, rumors of bribery and secret payouts began to swirl. FIFA hired lawyer Michael Garcia to investigate the votes. He spent years digging and wrote a massive report. FIFA initially tried to bury his harshest findings, causing Garcia to quit in protest. The full details eventually came out, exposing deep corruption in the bidding process. Even though the games went ahead, this scandal permanently changed how the world views sports mega events. Russia, 2018. Collusion allegations. The 2018 World Cup bid was supposed to be fair, but Russia's victory in December 2010 raised serious red flags. Investigators wanted to read the Russian committee's emails to understand how they won. The problem was the evidence vanished. The committee claimed they only leased their computers, and the leasing company physically destroyed the hardware after it was returned. Meanwhile, rumors spread about secret vote trading pacts between international bidding committees. Without a digital trail, investigators hit a dead end. This missing evidence still matters because it shows how easily global sports deals can dodge real oversight. South Africa Diaspora Fund. This was a $10 million payment meant to support football in the Caribbean. In 2008, South Africa arranged for FIFA to wire this money to CONCACAF. The official story was that it would fund a legacy program for the African diaspora, but United States investigators followed the cash and found something else. They traced the funds straight into the pockets of top executives like Jack Warner. It was actually a bribe to secure votes to host the 2010 World Cup. This massive payout still matters today because it shows how easily huge bribes can be disguised as charity. CONCACAF, Center of Excellence. The João Havelange Center of Excellence is a sports facility in Trinidad and Tobago. In the late 1990s, FIFA poured $16 million of development money into building it. The idea was to create a training hub for Caribbean soccer. But the cash actually flowed into a property secretly owned by Jack Warner, the regional soccer boss. Instead of just helping athletes, the complex functioned as Warner's private business. He rented out the hotel and banquet halls for personal profit. Today, it stands as a clear reminder of how easily international sports funds can vanish. Goal Project Fund Mismanagement. The FIFA Goal Project was launched in 1999 to build soccer facilities in developing nations. The plan was simple. FIFA sent millions of dollars to local football associations to pay for new training centers, turf pitches, and headquarters. But instead of pouring concrete, many local officials simply poured the cash into their personal bank accounts. Audits eventually revealed a trail of phantom projects. You would visit a site expecting a modern academy, only to find an empty dirt lot. This massive theft still matters today because it robbed entire generations of young players of the resources they needed to develop their skills. Bin Hammam election bribery. Back in 2011, Qatari official Mohammed bin Hammam ran for FIFA president. To win, he needed votes from the Caribbean Football Union. During a meeting in Trinidad, local officials were led into a room and handed brown envelopes. Inside each envelope was exactly $40,000 in cash, meant to buy their election votes. The secret quickly leaked out. Bin Hammam had to drop out of the race and eventually received a lifetime ban from the sport. This blatant cash giveaway proved how easily international sports votes could be bought, setting the stage for the massive FIFA corruption bust that followed. The disloyal Platini payment. In 2011, FIFA President Sepp Blatter authorized a secret payment of 2 million Swiss francs to Michel Platini. They claimed it was back pay for consulting work Platini did a decade earlier, but there was no written contract for this money. When Swiss authorities discovered the transaction in 2015, FIFA's ethics committee stepped in. They handed both men massive bans from all football activities. Even though a Swiss court later cleared them of criminal charges, the scandal permanently shattered their reputations. It abruptly ended Blatter's long reign and ruined Platini's chances of ever taking over FIFA. Chuck Blazer wiretaps. This was a secret FBI sting operation involving a top American FIFA executive. Facing massive tax evasion charges in 2011, Chuck Blazer agreed to become an informant. He walked into high-level meetings at the 2012 London Olympics carrying a small keychain with a hidden microphone. He sat down with soccer's most powerful officials and secretly recorded them discussing bribes, wire fraud, and money laundering. These undercover tapes gave investigators the hard proof they needed to indict dozens of corrupt executives. It remains the exact turning point that finally broke open the criminal underbelly of global soccer. Bauer Outlack arrests. This was a dramatic police raid at a luxury hotel in Zurich in May 2015. The U.S. Department of Justice worked closely with Swiss authorities to quietly enter the building just before dawn. Police went room to room, waking up top FIFA executives to arrest them for decades of bribery and money laundering. As the sun came up, hotel staff held up white bed sheets to hide the men from news cameras, while police marched them out to waiting cars. This massive bust finally exposed the deep corruption running global soccer and forced a complete overhaul of the sport. Brazil ticket scalping ring. This was a massive illegal operation uncovered during the 2014 World Cup. An executive at Match Services, FIFA's official hospitality partner, funneled Prime VIP tickets directly to a black market network. Instead of reaching regular fans, these passes were secretly handed to an international smuggling ring. They sold the tickets to wealthy buyers for thousands of dollars above face value. Police eventually raided a luxury hotel in Rio, arresting the ringleaders and seizing hundreds of tickets and cash. This scandal still forces major sports leagues to closely track their own insiders. Dollar broadcasting rights. This is how soccer executives turned a single dollar into a personal fortune. Back in 2005, FIFA handed over the regional television rights for 2 World Cups to Jack Warner, a top executive for the Caribbean. The price tag for broadcasting the biggest sporting event on Earth was literally $1. Warner took those exact rights and resold them to a cable network for $20 million, pocketing the difference. It matters today because this brazen setup exposed deep-rooted corruption, forcing authorities to finally crack down on how broadcasting deals are regulated. Julio Grondona. Slush funds. Julio Grondona ran Argentine soccer from 1979 until he died in 2014, and he also controlled FIFA's money. As the head of FIFA's finance committee, he operated in the dark. When executives wanted broadcasting rights for the Copa America tournament, they routed millions of dollars into secret offshore accounts. Grondona personally approved these massive kickbacks, ensuring sports marketing firms won lucrative contracts. The result was a culture where millions meant for the sport simply vanished. Though he died before the 2015 FIFA corruption sweep, his unchecked schemes forced a complete rewrite of how global soccer handles cash. Caribbean television rights diversion. This was a scheme where money meant to grow soccer in the Caribbean was secretly pocketed. Starting in the 1990s, regional executives like Jack Warner bought World Cup broadcasting rights for the area for just $1. Instead of selling those rights to fund local sports, they transferred them into offshore shell companies they secretly controlled. These dummy companies then sold the TV rights to real networks for millions of dollars. The cash completely bypassed the region's football accounts. This still matters because it proves how easily massive sports revenues can vanish without strict financial oversight. Underground home of FIFA. This is the massive headquarters for the world's biggest soccer organization located in Zurich. Back in 2006, FIFA poured $240 million into building this custom facility. Instead of building up, they dug down. 5 of the building's 8 floors are completely buried beneath the earth. Above ground, you just see a sleek glass pavilion in the woods, hiding the massive fortress-like complex below. Critics quickly pointed out that the hidden design perfectly matched the organization's lack of financial transparency. Today, the building remains a physical reminder of how sports giants operate in secrecy. Women's artificial turf mandate. This was the controversial decision by FIFA to make players use plastic fields for the 2015 Women's World Cup in Canada. Men's tournaments are always played on natural grass. So, in late 2014, over 80 top female players filed a gender discrimination lawsuit. They pointed out that turf gets hotter and causes worse injuries. FIFA refused to change the fields and actually threatened to suspend the protesting players. The women eventually dropped the lawsuit so they could actually play. It sparked a lasting global conversation about equal treatment in professional sports. Qatar migrant worker conditions. This is how FIFA handled the early backlash over building World Cup stadiums. When Qatar won the tournament bid in 2010, they needed massive new arenas. They brought in hundreds of thousands of migrant workers under the kafala system, which legally trapped people with their employers. Human rights groups quickly published reports of terrible abuses and extreme heat deaths. Instead of stepping in, FIFA's initial public relations strategy was just to look away, claiming local labor laws were not their problem. This early delay allowed years of unchecked exploitation, forever changing how fans view the tournament's legacy. Match services. Hospitality, nepotism. This is the story of how FIFA handed out its most lucrative ticket deals to family members. Back in the late 2000s, FIFA gave exclusive World Cup hospitality and ticketing contracts to a company called Match. The catch was that FIFA president Sepp Blatter's nephew, Felipe Blatter, headed a firm that held a significant stake in Match's hospitality division. This meant the president's own family profited directly from selling premium corporate packages and hotel rooms at inflated prices during the tournaments. It still matters today because it proves exactly how deeply insider dealing was baked into global soccer. Germany's secret committee payments. This is the story of 6.7 million euros missing from the 2006 World Cup. In 2005, German organizers sent this cash to FIFA, claiming it was for a cultural gala. That event never happened. Investigators discovered the money was secretly repaying a billionaire's loan, likely used to buy tournament hosting votes. Authorities quickly cracked down. Top football officials faced tax evasion charges for falsely writing the payment off as a business expense. This still matters today because it proved how easily dark money can corrupt the world's biggest sporting events. Havelange offshore accounts. This refers to the secret banking network used by João Havelange, who ran FIFA from 1974 to 1998. In the 1990s, a sports marketing company called ISL wanted exclusive World Cup TV rights. To secure those contracts, they funneled millions in bribes to Havelange through offshore Swiss bank accounts. The paper trail stayed hidden for a long time. In 2012, Swiss court documents finally exposed the kickbacks, forcing his resignation as FIFA's honorary president in 2013. This matters because it proved corruption was built right into the foundation of modern soccer. Executive vote trading systems. This is the unwritten network of backroom deals that once decided who hosted the World Cup. Inside the 24-member FIFA Executive Committee, continental voting blocs formed alliances. Confederations would simply agree to swap votes, promising to support each other's bids across different tournament years. Because the votes were locked in early, official technical evaluation reports grading stadium readiness and transport were completely ignored. Bids with terrible infrastructure won anyway. It matters today because this shadow system sparked the 2015 corruption arrests that forced global soccer to rewrite its rules.